let's get right into it. So I'm going to give a quick overview of what I do and why I do it. I want to let everyone know. Now, this is not the end-all be-all. I am responding to the people who are asking, Suresh, what do you do? Now, what I do is not going to work necessarily for you, but what I feel like I've now figured out over however many decades of learning nutrition, speaking with nutritionists, talking to doctors, talking and working with personal trainers, some very high-level people from around the country, across the world even. When I go overseas, I'm always talking about nutrition and fitness because when you go to other places, other people are looking at these things with a different set of eyes. So, is there one thing that you can do that is the end-all be-all? No. And is there something different for everyone? Of course, because everyone's body type is different. Everyone's blood type is different. And everyone's activities are different. If you are sitting at a desk all day and you don't go to the gym, you don't work out, you don't do any cardio, which I'm not a fan of cardio, but I'll get into that in my next video when it comes to weight training versus cardio and whether steady state cardio over a longer period of time or shorter, more intense, almost like a HIIT cardio. I'll get into that in the next video in the Sheepdog Nexxus. So everyone has different purposes and everyone is doing something different throughout the day. Some people are more active during the day in their job. Maybe they're working as a contractor or in construction, or they're just on the move lifting. And I see so many professions where they feel like they're doing a lot. They're working a lot throughout the course of their day. However, they're not doing as much as they think they're doing. They might be moving around. They might be getting up, walking around, but they're not creating that breakdown in muscle fiber. They're not getting that heart rate up where they need to go. Sometimes people's heart rate is going up because they're just out of shape. So sometimes people get up from their desk and they walk downstairs to get, a soda, right? A soda, and they're kind of like winded when they walk back up the stairs, if you take the stairs. So everyone's different. Now, I work out about 5-6 days a week. So my body needs a different set of, or a different kind of nutrition than someone who doesn't work out at all, okay? But what I have put together is for first responders who are asking, for the most part, they're saying, hey, I work out, I exercise, I'm trying to gain muscle, I'm trying to lose weight. What can I do, or what are some things that you recommend for fat loss and for gaining muscle? Very important for first responders. Of course, lean muscle is important for burning fat, but also we want to make sure that we have our wind built up. We want to have a good cardio base built up because at any given point, especially for first responders such as police officers, you want to be able to, if you have to chase that suspect, run with someone, fight with someone, you want to have the ability to have that endurance, right? And that comes from building up your cardio. So once again, we get into that in the next video in the Sheepdog Nexxus. So the baseline for what I do, I'm going to run down what I do. Now, I try to restrict carbohydrates to after my workout, directly after my workout. I might do some carbohydrates, but most of you who've been following the channel for quite some time know that I am limiting my carbohydrate intake for obvious reasons. Most people know the inflammation that comes from too many carbs. Now, I know people go back and forth. I mean, you talk to some bodybuilders and they're doing like 1 million grams of carbs a day. Different strokes for different folks. However, this is a fact that nobody can deny. And when you look at keto and, using fat as fuel or ketones as fuel, hence ketosis, you want to realize something. And this is the carb people, the keto people, no one can deny this. If you never had a carb, again, for the rest of your life, you would be absolutely fine. You would live, you'd survive, you would be absolutely fine. However, and you'd be able to just perform and do whatever. If you never had a fat for the rest of your life, you cut out fat completely and had no fat, you went on the zero fat diet, if there is one, you would not survive. That is a stone cold fact. You could look it up. It's science. So the human body needs fat to survive, but it does not need carbohydrates to survive. And we know the human body is the most incredible machine on earth and the most advanced machine on earth, even more advanced than the new iPhone 12 that just came out that looks phenomenal, but even more advanced than that. So you got to ask yourself, if the human body can survive and sustain life without any carbohydrates forever, but it can't without fat, ask yourself, well, what does that tell you? Okay, so I'm not going to go too into the whether you should be keto or high carb, low carb. I'm once again going to give you a breakdown of what I do. It's a baseline. Now, I change this from time to time depending on my training, whether I'm trying to bulk or whether I'm trying to cut weight. So it goes back and forth. But this is what you guys are asking for. So I'm going to give you the breakdown, and then I will go through a little bit of how I fine-tune it, okay? So a lot of people say, what do you have for breakfast? What do you have for lunch? What do you have for dinner? What do you do for snacks, okay? So my diet now is very different from when I was on patrol. So I'm going to go over some of the things that I did on patrol that helped me get through, especially the night shift, but even the day shift, because we know eating on patrol, for those of you who don't work as a first responder, you know, it goes without fail. You know, you're about to take that bite of that sandwich and you get the call for like the choking baby, and you gotta put your food down and go, or the rollover motor vehicle accident with people injured. So eating on the job and most of the time in your patrol car, I was not a big fan of eating out in restaurants for obvious reasons. You know, people look at you and, you know, then we have all the people who are anti-police, and this is going back some time that they're always, you know, that sentiment. It's just more prevalent now with, you know, social media, everyone's posting. So I was always a big fan of bringing my food to work as much as possible and just eating in the patrol car or maybe eating at headquarters. And I recommend that to all of you, if at all possible. If once in a while, because you don't have the time or something happens, you need to go and eat out somewhere, fine. But even then, go pick it up, go grab it, and sit in your vehicle. I'm just never a big fan of in uniform sitting in a restaurant. Some guys don't mind, but I've seen some horror stories. I've heard some horror stories, and it was just something I didn't do. So that's just my advice to you. Okay, so breakfast. What's a typical breakfast? Once again, if I'm not doing a restricted like time window eating, like a intermittent fasting or something like that, this is the breakdown. So I'm giving a kind of a normal day, because I don't want to go into if you're intermittent fasting, then this and this. I'm just going to give a normal, regular, wake up, going to eat, train, and what have you, okay? So I have it here, and this is something I keep with me on my phone. I kind of know it down now, but for those of you who want to put it in your phone, you can put it on your phone, maybe print it out. In the beginning, I printed it out. This is something I've kind of crafted from looking at a lot of different diets over the years and fine-tuning what works for me. Once again, this works for me. Have I shared this with other people and has it worked for them? Yes. I've shared this breakdown of how I eat and this basic meal breakdown with I don't know how many people now. And it has worked phenomenally for a ton of people. So, is it going to work for you? I'm not going to promise you that. However, if you stick to a strict training schedule, you don't need to go kill yourself and be like, squatting 500 pounds and deadlifting 1,000 pounds. No. But if you have a basic weight training schedule with a little bit of HIIT cardio worked in there to get that heart rate up just a couple times a week, and you follow this plan, and I'll go into the workout later. I actually can't remember the last time someone that I told about this plan that actually did this plan that didn't come back and said they lost weight, they gained muscle, and they felt great. So I'm going to give it to you. So here we go. So Waking up. The first thing when you're training is you want to make sure your protein intake is high, right? Because you're breaking down muscle fiber. You want to repair that because when you break it down, you want to repair it so the muscle grows. The more muscle in your body, the more you're growing your natural fat burning furnace, if you would, okay? So I usually would do a protein shake right away in the morning, 2 scoops of protein and almond milk. That's it. Just 2 scoops of protein, almond milk. People try to say, oh, maybe throw in a banana. Oh, maybe throw in a spoon of peanut butter. I can do that in certain times when I'm bulking. However, during the regular times when I'm just trying to keep lean, none of that stuff, okay? So just a protein powder, almond milk, boom, done. Sometimes you could sprinkle a little cinnamon in there and it actually works out well. I like for energy, I'm not a huge coffee person, and I'm not a huge energy drink person, so I love green tea extract. So some people say, can I drink green tea? You can. I like buying the pills. There's a lot of good companies. I'll put some links below of the companies that I recommend for the green tea extract. Great, more of a natural caffeine boost and a natural fat burner. So I'm a big fan of that. So I usually do 500 to 1,000 milligrams of the green tea extract pills right there with my shake, okay? And that just kind of gets me going in the morning. Some mornings I feel great. I don't need it. I have a separate talk on sleep, but that's what I do. And then I go right into, shortly thereafter, my pre-workout. Some people don't like taking pre-workouts. I'm a person that I like the pre-workout. It just gives me that little bit of boost. Do I always need it? No, but I like the little boost it gives me. So I do have the pre-workout. And the pre-workout I take is a nootropic pre-workout. So it's not one of those ones that's packed in caffeine that gives you the jitters. There is niacin in the one that I do take. So you sometimes get that like itchy skin or it feels like your face is tingling. But I like that more nootropic energy than your high caffeine energy. So I do have, and I could post a link. I did a video on the pre-workout I take and that I love. So I'll post a link below for that too. Okay, then you get ready to go into your workout. Go into your workout, you finish your workout. I go into the workout once again in a separate video that's in the Sheepdog Nexxus. At the end of the workout, I do another protein shake. This time, double the amount of protein of the first one. So if you put 2 scoops in the first one, you put 4 scoops in the second one, okay? Now, that is just so I want that immediate post-workout bump in protein, okay? So that's how I built that. And once again, I pieced this together from different practitioners over the years and took things from some people and took things from other people. So if you do see or hear certain things in this, it might be because you read it somewhere on the interwebs and the internet or something, because this is a combination of probably about 6 or 7 different maybe trainers, nutrition people, maybe even more, maybe 9 or 10 different people over the years. And I kind of took pieces and built this kind of like a recipe that you read different recipes over time and then you kind of fine tune it to how you want to make it, okay? Everyone has that like meatball recipe that they kind of get from their grandma, and then this one and that one, right? Okay, so then you do your workout, your post-workout shake. I like to take a little bit of sugar with the post-workout shake. That's something that's very common. A lot of people do. Some guys eat like a handful of Skittles. Some guys do gummy bears. Some guys do just a powdered sugar. Some guys do like a teaspoon of like jam. Whatever it is you want. I tell people just get a little bit of dextrose in you, a little bit of a sugar that helps accelerate with the protein. So that's just my thing. I find it works for me. I've done it. I've stuck with it. I like gummy bears or something along those lines. I'm not a big fan of like Skittles and other like hard candy or anything like that. So something along those lines, okay? Pixie sticks, whatever you want to use, okay? So and not like a cup of them, just like a little handful of them, right? Just a few of them. We don't go crazy, and you don't want to like make your dentist any richer than they already are. Okay, then you want to go to a meal. Big on meals because you want to get real food in your body as much as possible, okay? So I'm a big fan of eggs. Everyone knows I'm a big fan of the egg whites. Don't be afraid of the yolks. You can have the yolks. There's a big myth about, yolks and cholesterol and this and that. Listen, I do the full egg. I like the hard-boiled version because they're easier and faster, and you can even pick them up if you're out. I have some here from a store. A lot of convenience stores sell these like 2 hard-boiled eggs in a little package. You can get them. Sometimes they come with a little package of like salt and pepper on them, and you can just sprinkle that on if you want. In keto, salt is big. Most people have issues when they're on keto because they're not taking in enough salt. So I tell people that's a great way to start. So I usually do about 4 or 5 eggs, and maybe I'll sprinkle in a couple of egg whites if I have a couple of extra eggs there. So I love the egg whites, but I definitely love the eggs with the yolk. So I'll do about 4 or 5 of them. I'll do, at this point, half a cup to a cup of oats, just straight oats. I don't use any of the flavor packets that are packed with sugar, just a straight oats. Now, if you want, here with the oats, I sometimes, just to give it a little bit flavor, I'll do like a half a teaspoon of agave nectar. I'll just kind of mix it in real quick and just give it that little bit of sweet, just like a natural organic agave nectar, just like a little bit, or I'll just do like a half a teaspoon of like a natural jam, like a raspberry jam. I'll just mix it in with the oats, and I'll do that. And then the big thing here is, this is something I love. It's kind of hard to get your hands on, especially if you're eating in like a patrol car. But they sell it in cups, which is very convenient, or they sell it in big jars, and you could pack it in a little to-go little bowl with a little Tupperware snap top, is grapefruit. Grapefruit is huge, has so many health benefits, great for your metabolism and to help for fat burning. So and you're going to see grapefruit come back again. So if you're in the patrol car, a great thing is those cups. They come, now watch the ones that you get, because some of them come with that juice that's like packed with sugar. Okay, so you can get the ones that are no sugar added or sugar free, where they're just not adding sugar. It's just the grapefruit. So that's what you want. Of course, the best thing in the world is to get just a grapefruit and cut the thing in half. Have half now and save half for the later, and you'll see when it's later. But that's a little tougher to do in the patrol car. And now with COVID and everything, eating with your hands can get a little squirrely. So you always want to have some hand sanitizer, of course. Or I'm a big proponent of just wash your hands with soap and water, instead of going crazy with the sanitizer. Okay, so you have that. Water is big. I try to do about a gallon of water a day. Sometimes I go over a gallon of water. Now, with the breakfast, I like to do 24 ounces of water, okay? And 24 ounces of water, I have 2 tablespoons of apple cider vinegar in the water. I'm not going to go into all the craziness of apple cider vinegar. You can Google it. You could YouTube it. You could ask your neighbor. Apple cider vinegar has a ton of health benefits. So with the breakfast, 24 ounces apple cider vinegar, 24 ounces of water with 2 tablespoons of apple cider vinegar, and it's a wrap, okay? So do that. Now, mid-morning snack. Love Greek yogurt, but without all the garbage. Don't get that Greek yogurt that has like the clump of like fruit and sugar at the bottom. That's like, 40 grams of sugar that completely wipes out the benefit of eating just pure plain Greek yogurt. So once again, you can get the individual cups of plain non-fat Greek yogurt, or you can get a bigger tin of it, and a tin. Who says tin? A bigger tub of it, and you can put it into a small container and put the cap on the container, take it to work with you, disposable spoon, or reusable if you're worried about the environment. That's it. Once again, if you want to add a little bit of flavor to that, sometimes I'll drizzle just a little bit of that organic agave nectar on there and mix it up, and it gives it a nice taste and it gives it a nice flavor instead of just eating plain. I don't do that every day, but once in a while you just get tired of eating the plain yogurt. You're eating it for the health benefits, of course, so you can mix that in there as well. So that's for the mid-morning snack. Once again, people know that having different kinds of nuts are great. I'm a big fan of pistachios. I'm a big fan of cashews. you name it. Now, some people are, especially with they're on keto, they're very like strict on the kinds of nut they're going to eat. To me, I don't want to eat the same thing every day, so I always have a bag of mixed nuts with me in my car. I would keep it in my patrol car, in my patrol bag, in the cooler if I had a cooler, in my vehicle, in my center console. I always have a thing of mixed nuts. And once again, some people say walnuts. A lot of people that I read during the building of this were big on walnuts, and I love the walnuts, and great flavor. I like it, but once again, you eat walnuts every day. Keto macadamia nuts are huge. And of course, you start out, you're doing the macadamia nuts, and next thing you know, you're like tired of it. So if you can stick with one and you're fine with that, great. But I tell people just mix it up a little bit, and don't go crazy about like, oh, this nut's good for you and this nut's bad for you. It's better than sitting there eating candy or potato chips, right? So always, almonds are great natural energy source, especially for those working the night shift. So I'll do a handful of nuts. Once again, I will do the green tea extract pills again. This is mid-morning. I'll do another 500 to 1,000 milligrams of the green tea extract pills. And once again, this is for when I'm not trying to bulk and I'm trying to cut. And most people, when they're asking me about what I do, they're asking me because they want to lean out, they want to lose weight, okay? So once again, I'll do that green tea extract again, okay? Now, if you want to get a no sugar added green tea drink and just drink the green tea straight, yeah, but as a first responder, sometimes it's a little tough to go brew some tea and like let it steep for like 10 minutes or 20 minutes, what you're supposed to do, whatever. Don't show this to anyone from Britain, or else they'll yell at you because they're very particular with their tea steeping and stuff like that. I just get the pills, easy, 500 to 1,000 milligrams, done. Okay, and then you have your you might have some left over of your apple cider vinegar and water. You could have that too. Okay, so now we're gonna go to lunch. Lunch I kept very simple. You're on the road, you're either in your patrol car or you're out and about. Even if you're home, a simple go-to is tuna. I'm a big fan of the canned tuna. Do I mix it up? Yes, of course. Sometimes I mix it with a little bit of light mayo. There's all kinds of crazy different mayos now made from everything under the sun. So you put a tablespoon of mayo in there, you mix it up. Of course, salt. Sometimes I'll put some cayenne pepper and turmeric in there just to, kick it up a notch and have that extra burn in there. So I love the tuna. I will occasionally, depending on the workout I did that morning, I will maybe put it on some thin whole wheat bread. That's fine if you are lifting heavy. If not, you could just put the tuna over greens. Maybe chop up a little bit of cheese with it, a good cheese, a decent cheese, and throw it in there with the tuna. You could have the tuna, like I said, you could make a bowl, just have the tuna, put it on bread, put it on a bed of lettuce, but it's a great go-to. You could do the same thing with canned chicken. Once again, fast, convenient, easy to go. I'm a big fan of that. So that is something that you want to just keep very simple, very lean. People say, well, what about grilled chicken? I'm a fan of grilled chicken too, but I'm definitely more a fan of tuna when it comes to that, that midday protein boost. So I usually do that, and I have the other half of the grapefruit. So if you have that grapefruit cup, bring a second cup, or if you have the grapefruit, you actually brought the grapefruit, just go ahead and have that second half of the grapefruit after that tuna, and you're good to go. It's hard as you go further, because sometimes like when you're having like a sandwich, you kind of want that crunch. You're kind of like missing like potato chips or something, right? So I always try to have, sometimes I'll have like a small handful of like Parm crisps. If you see them in the store, they're like Parmesan cheese crackers. They're like crackers made just out of cheese. So sometimes I'll have a couple of those just to get a little bit of a crunch, or sometimes I'll just have a couple of more nuts just to have a little bit of a crunch, because sometimes we all miss that, especially keto. That's a big deal. Afternoon snack. Once again, you want to fuel the body. You're lifting heavy. You're trying to build mass, and you're trying to cut fat. So afternoon snack, I'm a big fan of a little hit of fruit. I do an apple and a couple of mozzarella cheese sticks is a great a great thing. People say, well, can you do anything else? Well, yeah, you could do an apple. You could do a pear. Is a banana okay? Yeah, banana's okay. Banana, a lot of people say, is high caloric, high sugar. But if you're training, once again, you're lifting hard, lifting heavy, and you're doing that HIIT cardio mixed in. I'm okay with the banana, but an apple is very easy. Bananas are easy for the patrol car, and even if your hands are dirty, you can eat it, so it's great. So a couple of mozzarella sticks, and once again, maybe another handful of nuts, and you're good to go. Once again, I change it up a little bit here and there, depending on where I'm at, and if you can bring different things in. But I try to keep it to that the nuts, a piece of fruit, and a couple of pieces of cheese. I say string cheese because string cheese is very portable. It comes in the little packets, and you could do mozzarella cheese. You could do these little sticks of cheddar and things like that. So, I mean, it's very easy, great for first responders if you're on the move. Even if you work in an office and you're sitting at a desk and you just want a quick snack and you keep that bag under your desk. That way, it's not something, it's not making a big mess. So, I really like that. So that's afternoon snack. Dinner's pretty simple. You want to make sure that and dinner is where I try to do, minimal to almost no carbs. So some people say, what about a sweet potato? Yeah, you can, depending on your training cycle and depending on what you're trying to do. But I like something green and a lean protein, a piece of salmon, a piece of grilled chicken, pure turkey breast, like a roast turkey breast, and something green, whether you're looking at Brussels sprouts, broccoli, spinach. Those are all great options. So you got the protein and you got the veggies alongside it. That's it. During the bulking phases, when I'm trying to bulk up, I will implement some like half a cup of white rice throughout a couple of these meals just to up the carbs just a little bit. But most of the time, I'm not even doing that. I'm just trying to stick with the program of the protein, the veggies, and trying to keep everything, when I'm trying to lean, keep everything tight. You could do a salad. Of course, side salads are great. Just, don't kill it with some heavy, crazy dressing and drown it in dressing. And of course, at night, I swear by two things. I swear by fish oil and I swear by CLA. You can get both of them on Amazon if you want. There's a lot of great companies out there. I'll post a link to the CLA and conjugated linoleic acid and the fish oil, omega-3 fish oil. Most people already know about fish oil. But the CLA is a big thing, and I like to do the CLA in the evening. Some people say the CLA for metabolism boost and fat burning is better to do in the morning. For me, it works better in the evening. So that and fish oil with dinner, I've gotten phenomenal results, okay? So once again, I'll post a link to what I have. Now, people always say, do you eat dessert? And I have my one day a week, my cheat day, Sunday, where I'll have dessert. What will I have? People, what do you have for dessert? What's your cheat? Well, I pretty much, since I haven't had dessert all week long, Sunday, cheat day, I'll do whatever I want. Do I go crazy and have the behemoth ice cream sundae? No, I don't. I'll have a small bowl of ice cream, and I'll try to crush some nuts, put some nuts on there, and maybe get some natural peanut butter and melt some natural peanut butter and pour that over, and it comes out really good. If you want to put a banana on there, great. So you can make a little banana sundae. That's fine. Don't go crazy with have a half a cheesecake or something like that, because you're just kind of resetting. You're taking your body backwards, and you don't want to do that. I know some people go crazy on their cheat days, and then they're feel like crap come Monday. So what do I do during the week? Everyone knows how to cheat on Sunday. What do I do during the week? Well, during the week is something that you want to maybe have a little bit of chocolate. So what I love is some plain Greek yogurt, scoop of chocolate protein powder, and a tablespoon of peanut butter, natural peanut butter. You mix that up, it almost makes like a chocolate peanut buttery mousse. It's kind of crazy. It's really good. If you want to put a couple of blueberries or blackberries or raspberries on there, that works out too. But it's a great, healthy, high protein, nice little dessert that gives you that little bit of taste of chocolate or dessert that you might be looking for. And it helps satisfy you, so you're not sitting there longing, looking for a cookie or something like that. So that's a huge one that I truly love, and that I'll even post a little recipe that I use for that. You can use, a lot of people love cottage cheese. I like cottage cheese. I go back and forth with cottage cheese. I go that between cottage cheese and Greek yogurt. Cottage cheese, to me personally, I need to have something mixed in there. So if I do the cottage cheese, I definitely got to have a couple of, maybe a handful of blueberries or blackberries or raspberries. I have a hard time just eating the cottage cheese plain. Some people will, once again, sprinkle some maybe honey or agave nectar on there just to give it a little sweetness. But once again, if you buy the cottage cheese, don't buy the cottage cheese that's packed with like that hidden sugar bomb on the bottom. Just get the plain non-fat cottage cheese, and then, add the stuff to it yourself. It's much healthier that way, and you can even pack that if you're working night shift. You want to pack that, you pack that in a nice little Tupperware thing. Bedtime, key. Bedtime is apple cider vinegar. I do a big thing of water with another 1 to 2 tablespoons of apple cider vinegar. You want to hydrate throughout the course of the day, but hydrating right before you go to bed is key, so make sure you don't forget that. So that's very important. It does not, and actually helps you sleep better, believe it or not, and the science is out there on that. You could look that up. I read a great article on sleep. I'll try to post a link below on the article on sleep and the things that you should do to optimize your sleep. It's not just about the hours you sleep, it's the quality of your sleep. So that's the breakdown there. Now, one of the things I see is big with cops are these, okay? These taste great, and this says 0 sugar on there, and carnitine and taurine and B vitamins and all that stuff. The reality is this is something that is putting your body into a state that you don't want your body in. Now, if you want to have one of these once in a while, that's fine. I tell people you want to have one day a week as a little treat, that's fine. But I know people who have 2 or 3 of these a day. They're having one of these before they go to sleep at night. Absolutely terrible. And I know people, they'll say, yeah, well, I can have one of these right before I go to bed, doesn't affect me. They're lying to themselves. Whether you think it doesn't affect you, internally, it's affecting your sleep, all right? And that is leading to breakdowns in your body down the road. The biggest thing you could do for your metabolism, believe it or not, is not about eating or dieting or exercise. The biggest thing you could do to boost your metabolism and boost your growth hormone, by the way, is to get solid sleep. It starts with sleep, okay? And people are like, what's the number one weight loss trick? Get sleep. Go to sleep early. Go to sleep following the rules that I shared from Craig Ballantyne, the 10-3-2-1 rules, and get better sleep. And you will see the difference in your body within a matter of weeks, I promise you. If you did nothing else, take care of your sleep, follow that 10-3-2-1, okay? So that is the breakdown. I tell guys that are working night shift, listen, stay away from these. Don't do coffee within the last 4 hours, 4 to 6 hours of your shift. Try to just use natural sources of energy. I love the green tea extract. I love almonds. Just more natural sources of energy. So when you get off of work, you can actually get to sleep. Sleep is the key component. It's the one thing that first responders probably are not doing and getting enough of because they think they're fine. Oh, I could stay up for a little while, do some chores, run around the house, whatever, and then I'll sleep for a couple hours before I go back in. Horrible, horrible idea. You're going to put yourself in the grave before you know it, okay? So sleep is the key component. When you're talking about how do I lose weight, how do I get in shape, sleep, 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 10-3-2-1 rule. I did the blog on it. You can check it out. And there's going to be another video in the Nexxus on that as well. So I think I covered everything. I hope this video was a value to you. Once again, we're going to take a deeper dive into this in the Sheepdog Training Nexxus. So check it out if you're not already registered for the Nexxus. I'm going to put the link below to sign up. Right now it's free. It's going to be a paid access only down the road, but right now if you want to sign up and get in early, we got almost 30,000 members signed up, so check that out today. A phenomenal tool, asset for you to use to help better your life. So check that out. If you guys have any questions about anything I talked about today, or you have additional questions that maybe I didn't answer today, go ahead and email our sales team 24/7. Literally, they're there all night long. They don't sleep. They're drinking these all night. I'm kidding. They better not be. 24/7, sales@221btactical.com. sales@221btactical.com. Email them 24/7. Say, hey, listen, I got a question. Can you do a video on this? Can you do a video on this? If it's in our training Nexxus, we'll direct you toward the Nexxus. If it's not, we'll create the video for you. And of course, for all the gear that we just shot in the studio, that is phenomenal. You could check out 221btactical.com. Everyone is always asking, great, love the channel. How do I support the channel? Listen, we don't have a Patreon. We don't do any of that stuff here. We have a website with gear, apparel designed to help take care of you, keep you safer, keep you more comfortable, and take care of our first responders and responsible civilians. So we just ask that, hey, go shop our gear. Check it out for you, your family, your loved ones. And that's how you support the channel. That's all we ask. We don't have coffee mugs with 221B Tactical on them or anything like that. But we have great gear that is going to help keep you safer, protect you, and keep you more comfortable. And we feel like that is a true value for you. So go ahead and check that out, 221btactical.com. Thank you for watching. Send in your questions of what you want to see next time. And until then, remember, when you're out and about, I don't care if you're a first responder, a responsible civilian, you're a parent, remember, always watch their hands, watch your six, and get home safe. We'll see you next time.